Good morning. Welcome to Mishmas Day 3. Okay, we are starting off with, you guys can't see my pajamas. I want to show off my cute Aberjay PJs. They're so cute. Okay, there we go. Okay, we are drinking today from Klatch Coffee from California, the Dancing Reindeer Blend. Tastes like baking spices, toffee, and dark chocolate. This has a medium and toasty roast level. Melted chocolate, gingery spice, this sweet and rich toffee coffee will have you dancing from morning to night. I really like this one. It is quite chocolatey, and there is a little bit of a spice in there. I wouldn't call it like downright spicy, but there's like an essence of that. But it's very chocolatey. Very, very nice. From Rancho Cucamonga, California. Very cool. Well, good morning, guys. I've got a fun video today. I'm just going to be talking about my November favorites, not just. But I love doing favorites videos, and I did not want to skip this month just because it was Mishmas. I thought, let's do November favorites. So we'll be doing that today. I don't know if we'll be doing much else. Those favorites videos are usually long enough. And do I have any plans this morning? I don't have any plans this morning. I really need to get back to working out. I didn't work out yesterday. I should have. Even just a little bit. But yeah, I need to get back to working out and picking up around the house and all that good stuff. So I am going to just finish this coffee, make some breakfast, get ready, make myself a little bit more presentable for you guys, and then let's go ahead and do my favorites. Right. So for day 3, it's right up here in one of these candy cane stripe boxes. I love this design this year. Yes, we have orange bitters. Oh, this is such a great holiday scent. Okay, let's see what we have here. For day 3, we have, black opium. Oh, cute. It's like a little mini bottle. Oh, that's so awesome. Black opium is perfect for like a holiday party. It's so sexy. Okay, Sicily. What have we got for day 3 right here? Oh, wow. The Revitalizing Volumizing Shampoo with Camellia Oil. I love this shampoo. This is going to be so great for travel. All right, décolleté. What have we got here for day number 3? Let's see, where is day number 3? Oh, here it is, right down here. And I'm going to open up the little flaps here. Oh, is this their powder? Oh my goodness, this is their face powder in translucent. This is a really lovely powder. Wow, and look how beautiful that top is. Amazing. And finally, the diptyque. Let's do day number 3. Here we go, up here. And we've got the Philosicos perfume soap. That smells wonderful. Love that fragrance. So that is it for the advent calendars today. Hello. I figured I would just do a regular old sit-down style video for favorites, even though we're in the middle of Mishmas, and I just did the advent calendars with you guys. So yeah, here we are in my filming room, and just going to share some favorites with you. You know what? I'm going to start with what I have on. This is that Lily Silk huge oversized cowl neck sweater. You can see some of the detailing here. Actually, most interesting detailing is here on the sleeves. So it has like a split cuff, and then it's got all this delicious detailing here. It is kind of long. It's like tunic length. I will try and stick like footage of me wearing it full length from my Lily Silk try-on video, because this is such an amazing, basically like dupe of a Kate sweater. Now the Kate sweater I did actually order. Do you guys remember that try-on? When was it? It was at least several months ago. And it was just, it didn't hang right to me. It was very like, it was one of those sweaters that was very clingy. It was very long, and I think that one had some cashmere in it. It was either 100% cashmere or it was a cashmere blend. It was so hot. I mean, I love cashmere. I love how soft cashmere is, but cashmere is very, very insulating. Anyway, this is basically like the perfect version of that sweater. It's less clingy and it's 100% wool, but it's incredibly soft, fine wool. So I have this on and like, you know, over bare skin, not itchy at all. And it's just not as hot. It's more breathable than the cashmere. I've been wearing it all day, running around, doing errands or whatever. And it's just been great. So anyway, I just wanted to mention the sweater because it's so nice. It really is so, so lovely. I'll also put down below my coupon codes. I have a couple of coupon codes and I never know. I think some of them are seasonal, so I'll have to figure out which one is actually working now, but I'll have that down below in my description box. So I wanted to mention this sweater. I did also want to mention these hoops. I've worn these a couple times in some of my videos. These are from Stephanie Windsor. They're 14 karat solid gold. The design of these is a hollow design, but they are solid gold, so they're not super heavy or anything. But they're just great. They're like a chubby hoop, I think is what she calls them. She has medium and large, I believe, on her site right now. But she sent me 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. So, and I also have a 10% off coupon code for you for that as well. And these are a medium. So the small is just a little bit smaller, the large is just a little bit larger. There's not that much of a difference between all 3 of the sizes. So it's not like the large is gonna like hit your shoulder or anything like that. But I just love them. They're like a nice, like everyday kind of staple. You guys know I love my Dean Davidson. So this is just kind of a nice change to that. And these are a shiny gold. And the Dean Davidsons that I always wear are like a matte gold. And these are not quite as yellow as the Dean Davidson. These are a little bit more subtle. So I really like these. I like how light they are. And again, I like how basic they are basically because they go with everything. And yeah, I just love them. I've been wearing them a lot. I've been wearing a lot of the medium. And in my video where I give you my like my health journey update, I'm wearing the large size. So you can probably see in that video that they're not that much bigger than these, just a little bit. So anyway, just a couple of fashion favorites, but I do have some beauty favorites, of course. Most of them are on my face. And, you know, I was putting on my Dr. Jart Premium BB Balm today. And you guys, look. I'm just going to hold this up just in case there's a little squirt at the end there, but it's empty. I'm so sad. I've been like shaking it around. I've been like holding it this way. I've been keeping it up this way. And this bottle is hard, so I can't like squeeze, but this does come out. And I think, I mean, am I going to be that person? I think I'm going to have to stick like a Q-tip in there and like dig the rest out. But pretty much this is a goner. This is a goner. I wasn't even going to talk about this in this video because I think I've pretty much talked about this in every favorites video for the past, I don't know how many months, in my Sephora recommendations, everything. But I just had to show you that I'm pretty much done with it. It's a goner. And that's what I do have on my face today. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get another bottle of that because I think it's sold out on Sephora. My shade is sold out on Sephora. So anyway, I'm going to be waiting impatiently for that to come back in stock. So anyway, that's the foundation that I have on. I have my Surratt Dewdrop Concealer on. Where is it? This, nothing new. I'm a broken record, but that's what I have on as concealer. And I do have a new bronzer on. Yes, new bronzer. I have the Guerlain, the Golden Leopard bronzer. It's not that golden anymore because I've used it where all of the gold overspray is pretty much gone. Just around the edges, it's still there. But I really like the shade of this bronzer. I really thought maybe it was gonna be too warm, but I'm really enjoying it. I really enjoy the tone. It's a Guerlain product, so it works beautifully. You know, it blends out. It's not overly pigmented. I don't feel like I, you know, had like a bad spray tan or anything like that. But I do have this lightly dusted pretty much all over my face. So I have been loving that. There is a Guerlain fragrance. It's not the terracotta fragrance though. They have like a perfume, a terracotta perfume, and that is much more like beachy, sexy, kind of like, I don't want to say coconut, coconut water or anything, but it just has like a very beachy kind of scent to it. This is a different scent. It's a Guerlain scent for sure. I've smelled this in their other products, but it's not the terracotta scent. So interesting. Anyway, it's like more powdery than that. But I wanted to mention that it does have fragrance because that's not everyone's favorite. But that is the bronzer that I've been enjoying. That is what I have on my face today. Blush, you know, now this is, okay. Let me start over. The Westman Atelier Baby Cheeks Powder Blush in Petal. This comes in the Les Etoiles, I think, set. I think that's what it's called. But it's a set that came in this red box. I picked it up during the Sephora VIB sale. It came with a lip gloss, the Squeaky Clean lip balm, and also one of her lit up highlight sticks. Now, I really enjoy this blush, and I really enjoy the shade and everything. But there's two things that actually make me hesitate in recommending it in my favorites. So why am I even talking about it in my favorites? Because I feel like many of you are going to ask me. But right now, I don't like the fact that it's only available in this set. So if I recommend this, I'm recommending the whole set, which I do like, but I don't feel like you should be forced to purchase the other products. So that's my first hesitation. My second is, this is an incredibly pigmented blush. And so I wish it wasn't as pigmented. I think it would be easier to use if I could just dip my brush in there and just like dust it on my cheek and go about my merry way. But I have to be pretty careful dipping my brush in there. And then I have to like really kind of, I don't know, like measure out like where I'm applying it and then kind of blend it out. Like I have to be careful when I use this blush. And I just wish it was a little bit more easy peasy, like the way all of Westman Atelier's makeup, I feel like is. I feel like this is the one exception where I feel like I have to be a little bit careful. Otherwise, I'm going to end up with clown cheeks. And the Westman Atelier makeup, and maybe that's why it bothers me so much, is because the rest of the makeup line, it's so subtle. It's like quiet. It's like the quiet luxury version of makeup. And the fact that this blush, I feel like I have to be careful with. It's strange. It's like an outlier, I think, in relation to the rest of her makeup. However, I think it's a really beautiful shade. And when I do blend it out, and once I do have it applied the way I like on my cheek, I do think it's very beautiful. So I don't know. We'll see if they come out with a whole line of the powder blushes, and if they're gonna kind of like bring over all the shades, existing shades from the cream stick blush, because I would like to play around with some of the other shades. But anyway, this is one blush that I've been kind of playing around with a lot this past month. But for those two reasons, I'm not sure that I can actually put it in my favorites. Everything else is great about this blush, I will say. A blush that I have been using quite a bit, no surprise, is the Dior Charnel. And I just wanted to mention this again, even though I've mentioned this in a gazillion of my favorites, year-end favorites, et cetera, is that they did kind of redo their blushes. And so I was really curious how this Charnel was versus the last version, which is the one that I really, really enjoyed. I really enjoyed this one as well. The shade is pretty much the same. I can't really see a difference once I have it on my cheek. And the formula is great. Blends out beautifully. It's not too pigmented. I feel like I can just brush it on really easily. Blends out beautifully. So I love it. I love this Dior Charnel. And that's what I have on my cheeks today. Now, what I have on as highlight, this is going to be no surprise to you guys because I've been going on and on about this, I feel like, for the past couple of weeks or so. But this is the Pkwy Signature Glow palette. And in here is a cream glow product, like a cream highlight product. This is Rose Glow right here. These two are eyeshadows. We'll talk about this one up here in just a second. But this highlight is what I've been using like nonstop. I just love kind of tapping it a little bit on the apples of my cheeks and then bringing it up, kind of like making like a comma shape here. And the glow, I think, is just, it's so stunning. I think it's an obvious glow, but it's just not too thick or metallic looking, or it's just not too intense. You know, it's just perfect. And this is a cream product, and I do end up applying it over powder blushes. And so I would say just be mindful. You just want to tap this product on. You don't want to like get a whole bunch on your finger and just start like swiping it, because you're going to spread your blush around and mix it into the highlight. And it's not going to look that great. So you just want to like tap where you want to highlight, and then tap over if you want to apply it over the blush, because this does have a really nice like rosy glow to it. So it does look really nice as like a blush topper too. But I like just leaving that right here and then bringing it up on top of my cheeks. So that's how I've been using this. And I just love this palette. I mean, I'm a sucker for cream products, and I love, love, love like the subtlety of these three products together. So I've been loving this palette so much. Eyebrows, nothing new. I have the Persona Swipe Up Brow Gel. It's great. Continue to love it. Okay, so in terms of eyeshadows, let me mention this one because I don't have this one on today, but I did put this on when I went to the Formula One event. This is the Tom Ford Lumiere d'Hiver eye color quad. So this is their Soleil Neige eye color quad for this season. I just love it. I know it's very basic, but it's so everyday. But then you've got these two glittery kind of like top coat shades, and they're gorgeous. One is a little bit cooler toned than the other. This one has like a little bit of peach in there. They're really stunning. I love Tom Ford eyeshadows, always have. Probably always will, but they blend out really beautifully, and I happen to really love this color story. I just think it's very, very easy, very easy. What I have on my eyes is actually a mixture of this palette, which is the M Cosmetics Saturn, what is it, Saturn's Return? Yeah, Saturn's Return eyeshadow palette. Now, this is a great cool tone palette because I think it's not fully cool. I think this shade is fairly neutral. This shade is a little bit warm, that gold, but there's like a smokiness to all of the shades that I really, really like. So I actually just used these two shades. So this matte shade here, I just have pretty much like all over my lid. And then I use this shade, which is a really subtle kind of like satin shade. It's like a smoky mauve shade. I have that on the outer corners of my lids just to give me a little bit of dimension. And then what I have tapped on top of all of that is this Luminescence eyeshadow from Pkwy. This shade up here, I just like rubbed my finger in the pan and then I just tapped it over. And it just gives my eyes a really subtle sort of metallic sheen, much more subtle than any sort of like powder eyeshadow could give. The cream products, especially Pkwy cream products, are very, very subtle. They're very, very pretty, and subtle not in the way of like, what's the point? Subtle in that there's like an elegance to them, and I really love this luminescence on my lid. Again, just tapped lightly over those two M Cosmetics shades. And I love it. I just feel like I have like a really ethereal kind of eye look. So those eyeshadows I've really, really been enjoying. Those three palettes, I guess. The M, the Tom Ford, and the Pkwy. And then finally for eyes, I have been using the Hourglass waterproof Voyeur eyeliner. Now I usually use Cave, which is the dark brown. It's just such a basic one for me. I still use it all the time. But I've started to use this shade, which is Solstice. It's the gold shade. I've been using this a lot like in my lower waterline, just to give my eyes a little bit of a pop. I've never been that comfortable lining my eyes with like a white liner to give that like awakened feel. I feel like it looks very, very stark. I have found some that are a little bit more nude, like the Chantecaille and the Charlotte Tilbury. Those two, I feel like I like the tones for that kind of effect. But this, I think, gives it a little bit more of a sparkle because this is like a metallic gold shade and it's a little bit different. You know, it's, again, not quite as like in your face as like a skin tone or a white colored eyeliner, but it has like the same idea going on. And then I've been using this Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencils. So Makeup Forever sent me like a whole box of these pencils, and I just loved looking at it. It just reminded me of like childhood when you would open up like the 64 Crayola crayons and you just have them all standing up like a new box of them. Oh, I loved that. I loved it. Anyway, they sent me a whole bunch of very nude shades. And these artist color pencils you can use anywhere, your eyes, your lips, your face, anywhere. And so I've been using it just as eyeliner, and I'm holding the shade. It's called Limitless Brown. I think it's number 608, if my eyes are not deceiving me. But it's called Limitless Brown, and it's a warm brown. And I didn't know if this brown would have a little bit too much red in there and make, you know, my eyes look like I was sick or something, or I had conjunctivitis. But it's just short of that. It's like warm enough so that I feel like it does a little something different than straight up dark brown eyeliner, like the Hourglass, which of course I enjoy for the everyday, but this is a nice little change. And these pencils are great. I don't find that they smudge or do anything weird. They're not hard to apply. The texture is really great, not too soft, definitely not too hard. And yeah, they're really wonderful. I'm looking forward to playing with these a little bit more. Maybe, I don't know what I would do
on my face with this, but maybe as lip liner. So yeah, those are the eyeliners that I've been enjoying. And then for lips, I have really just been going hard with this Farah Homidi lip pencil, which is the Smudge and Contour Lip Pencil in the shade Dew. So Doux. So I've been pronouncing it. I don't even know how I've been pronouncing it, but one of you corrected me. Thank you very much. You're like, it rhymes with who. I have it on today. I love this lip liner. I love the shade. I love the texture, everything about it. I love the fact that it's a pencil that you sharpen, because sometimes I think the ones that aren't encased dry out, they crack very easily. And when I'm doing my lips, that's like the last thing I want. I always like end up, if I crack it, whatever. Anyway, I like the fact that it's actually something I sharpen, and I just really enjoy it. And I really think it does contour my lips without being too cool of a color. It just does such a good job at that. And then I've been pairing it a lot with my U Beauty Plasma Lip Compound. I'm a broken record. I really have been going hard with this. This is the shade Fawn. This has been my favorite combination. My lips feel good. I think they look good. And so I've been going very hard with this combination. And I did want to mention the Farah Homidi lip palettes. These are awesome. So this is Red 1, which admittedly I have not used too often. I've only used this once, but I have used the Nude one quite a few times with, oh, you can even see, I've used it quite a few times. And I have used this with the Dew lip liner, and it's really wonderful. I am not someone that uses lip palettes often, so the fact that I even reach for this one says a lot. I really like the shade of this. It's such an interesting shade. There's warmth to it, but there's also a very strong pink undertone. I do feel like that's what's going on with this Dew lip liner, which is why it contours so well without it looking too cool. There's like a very strong pink undertone, despite it kind of appearing warm at first. Am I making any sense? Probably not. Anyway, the color is beautiful. I really like it. It's unique in its own way. And the top half of the palette, I should mention, that's a lip primer. I didn't find it very moisturizing, but it is very smoothing. So it is a primer. It's not like a lip moisturizer or anything like that. It is a primer to put down before you put on the lip color. So I've really been enjoying these, and yeah, they're great. I love the shades. So that's all the makeup that I have really been enjoying. There's a couple of brushes that I wanted to mention. So BK Beauty and Nikki LaRose came out with a collaboration. I mean, how amazing. What a great team up. And I just wanted to mention two Nikki LaRose brushes that I've been using a lot. So this N14 brush, what a great all-purpose brush. It's such a great shape. And you guys know I love these like in-between sized brushes. Like I like eyeshadow brushes that are a little bit bigger than usual. I like concealer brushes that are a little bit bigger than usual. I like blush brushes that are sometimes a little bit smaller than usual. So I really like these brushes that are like oddly shaped, because I feel like they make them more versatile. So this guy, I feel like it looks like an oversized like eyeshadow blender, but I like using it to apply my Dewdrop Concealer, which is a cream product, but I also like using this for highlight, both cream and powder. I'm gonna have to get more of these brushes. Cream and powder. I do like dusting, like a brow bone shade, or if I'm gonna be using a shade to kind of blend out the top edge of my eyeshadow, I've been using this. It's just great. And like I said, it's just such a unique size. So that's the N14. And then the other brush that I like is the N12. And it's this smudger brush. And it's just great. I find a lot of smudger brushes, because they are meant to be dense, they are meant to like move product around or apply products in a really dense kind of way. They can sometimes be kind of hard. And this isn't, I don't know if you can see, but like the bristles they move and they're really soft. And so I find that it's effective. Like I can move product around, but I'm not like scraping my eyelid, you know? So I've been loving these two brushes. All of the brushes are great, but these two I've been using a lot. And of course the Sonia G, like newly kind of, I want to say formulated, but they're brushes, but newly created brush set, her Fundamental Eye brush set. So she's added these like walnut handles instead of her like lacquered handles. And these are actually lacquer free. So you have this nice like really smooth but like warm feeling to the handles. And I'm loving the Worker M, of course. Her Worker brushes have always been my favorite because they're like a flat shader, but they're thick. So you can use them as a blender too. They're just the most versatile eye brush out there, because I think if you only could bring like one brush with you on a trip or something, this would be the one, because I think it really does a lot, like shader and blender. So really, really great. So I've been enjoying all of Sonia G's brushes, of course, as you guys know, but this Worker M is like just on my vanity. I just sit here and I spritz it clean and I use it over and over and over. So those are some brushes I wanted to mention. And then I have a couple of skincare products. So I've been meaning to mention these and I think, well, let me mention it next month. If I'm still using it next month, I'll mention it next month. So one thing is this Amora Vitza Queen of Hungry Mist. Now I have probably, I don't know, 3 of these hanging around. This is the one that happens to be at my vanity here, which is why it probably looks a little bit full. However, I have one in the kitchen and I have one upstairs in my bathroom. Sometimes I bring it to my nightstand, kind of back and forth, but one upstairs. I've just been using this like all the time. Every time I see it, I pick it up and I spritz some. Now this started around my birthday. So I had a bottle of this out in the kitchen, and I had my 2 girlfriends here that came to visit, and they're like, what's this? I think they saw me spritz my face, and they're like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, just spritzing my face. And they're like, what is that? So we were just talking about face spritzer, and I was like, you know, my skin's so dry, and the weather was like just starting to change then, barely, but just starting to change a little bit. And I don't know, I was just like in this face mist mood. And so they both fell in love with this face mist because it has such a light, beautiful, refreshing scent. And it's just such a beautiful mist. It's light. It feels, oh my God, it's so awakening. It feels just glorious. And then when it starts to kind of like dissolve onto your skin or get absorbed into your skin, it has just the lightest moisturizing effect. It doesn't feel oily in any way, but it really, really feels like your skin is getting plumped. And so ever since my friends were here, and I actually sent them home with a couple bottles because I do have quite a few hanging around. Ever since then, I've just been like, where's my Queen of Hungry Mist? And I'll just spritz, probably 5-6 times a day. I'm spritzing my face with this. So if you've noticed that my skin looks, I don't know, a little bit more plump these days, it's probably because of that mist. So I wanted to mention that. The other thing I wanted to mention was one of you actually recommended this, and I could not be more grateful, more appreciative, and more thankful for all of your great recommendations. But this one came at such a good time. So I don't know, it was in some video I was talking about how I was getting over a cold, and the cold like directly led into some sort of crazy allergy thing, which I think I'm still dealing with a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. And I was blowing my nose 24/7. I just couldn't blow my nose enough. And how my nose was getting kind of like raw here, and I was kind of babying it. I was putting a lot of moisturizer on it or whatever. And someone said, try the Fortuna Skin Replenishing Balm. And I had just gotten this in PR, and I think maybe I mentioned it in a PR video. Maybe that's why, if you're out there and you recommended this to me, thank you. But maybe that's why you recommended it to me, because you saw me actually unbox it. And I was like, oh my God, I have that. So I started using this instead of just like straight up moisturizer. I started using this. I'll just warm a little bit up on my fingers, and I was just like kind of just pressing it onto the bridge of my nose, which was like cracking, and then just around my nostrils and just like down. And I was doing it, I don't know, like maybe 3 times a day. Like when I woke up, and then like midday around lunch, and then before I went to bed, I would put this on. No, like my nose has been fine. I feel like whenever I go through a cold or an allergy phase and I'm blowing my nose a lot, this all gets so wrecked. I'll start breaking out on top of, and I'll have like breakouts on top of dry skin. Like craziness starts happening around here. And none of that happened. I was really afraid too. I was like, oh, is this gonna clog my pores? And I was like, you know what, whatever. I'll deal with that when I have to. I'm like, right now, I just need to soothe this area. Never, non-comedogenic. And it feels good now, even when I'm doing it. It's just such a soothing balm, and it has such a light, fresh fragrance, much like the Queen of Hungry, not similar fragrances, but like the same idea, just a really light, beautiful fragrance. Oh, and it feels so good. So Thank you for Tuna Skin for this incredible product, and thank you to whomever out there actually recommended this to me. I tried to go back to my comments and look, but there's just too many. I'm sorry. So thank you so much. So those are my favorites, my November favorites. That is it. Well, thank you guys. Another day of Mishmas is coming to a close. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow in my next Mishmas video. Bye.